Deland Jessop from Bootkick. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small, committed, organized group of people can change the world." In fact, that's the only thing that ever did. Getting the right team together, getting the right group of people working together towards a common vision can create enormous potential, fantastic results. And today we're going to talk about three different types of people. We're going to talk about your partners, the founders. Okay, that's one group that you really have to get together properly. Second group we're going to talk about is your first employees, your first hires, getting the right people on board that are actually going to be working for you. And we're also going to talk about outside advisors. And these could be consultants or advisors or experts that might be able to help your business go to that next level. So we're going to talk about the founders. This is the team that you originally put together to launch your business, your partners. You want to make sure you have that shared vision. You're all going towards the same goals. As founders, you also want to make sure that you have a complementary skill set. And the last thing that you want to think about is the structure you put in place, how you're making decisions, how you're going to work together as a team. With Police Prep, there were 3 partners involved, and we created a very flat organization. All 3 of us basically made decisions based on consensus. When Mark Zuckerberg founded his company, he didn't do that approach. He decided to take control of it. He took 70% of the organization right from the get-go. He was in charge. He was the one making most of the decisions, calling the shots. And his business was a little bit more successful than mine. So you have to decide what's best for your organization and what's going to work best with the group that you're working with. Your key employees are going to be another factor in the success of your business, and you want to make sure that you attract good ones and the right ones for your organization, because if you get the wrong ones, your organization could fail. I had a friend of mine who formed his own business, and his policy was the last hire always had to be the best hire. So you have to decide what strengths your organization has and how you can attract the right people to actually form that business. The key employees that you hire right off the bat are going to make or break your company. As a small entrepreneurial firm, you're going to have to get your key employees, your first hires, to buy into your vision. A lot of people don't have the option or can't afford to take the risk to start up their own company, but they still consider themselves entrepreneurs and they want to be part of that vision. They want to build something. So you want to make sure that you get the right people on board, and you have to find ways to incentivize them to come work for you. As a small organization, you're not going to be able to offer the same compensation packages that a large organization would in terms of benefits such as medical, dental, and vacation time. But as a small business, you can offer them other things. You might be able to offer them small stock options in the organization so they can become a part owner in the business. So when Bill Gates founded Microsoft, he offered stock options to all the employees, not just senior managers, but all the employees, including secretaries. And when the stock took off and Microsoft became huge, he minted more millionaires than any person in history. So as you can see, Bill Gates did create a successful business, not by offering a higher salary, but by allowing the employees to be part of the organization, giving them part ownership, and allowing them to build something and be part of something great. And the last group I want to talk to you about are outside advisors. They could be in the form of contractors, such as lawyers or accountants. They could be in the form of a board of directors or an advisory board to offer advice and guidance as you grow your business. Or they might be paid consultants providing certain specific advice for your organization that you lack. They can all be effective. You have to decide how you're going to spend your resources and what's important. Police Prep doesn't need a full-time accountant, so we hire one on a contract basis as we need them. Lawyers may be useful as well. With Counting Sheep Coffee, when we wanted to apply for trademarks for our names, we needed that expert advice to make sure that we did it properly. Board of directors or advisory boards may be very useful for your organization as well. You probably won't have a lot of money to have a paid board of directors as an entrepreneurial startup, but you can set up an advisory board of trusted mentors and friends that you have, hopefully with some industry experience, that can help guide you. Use them as sounding boards, bounce ideas off of them, talk about your strategic plan going forward. If they offer advice to avoid some of the mistakes they made in their lives with their businesses, it might benefit your organization tremendously. And also, you have to think about paid consultants. Sometimes it makes sense to hire someone part-time to come in and help you. Or instead of hiring someone full-time, you might just want to hire someone contractually part-time to come in and fix things. That can be very useful. I just want to offer you a little bit of advice regarding paid consultants. Just be very careful, because everybody's going to consider themselves an expert. With Counting Sheep Coffee, when we launched it, we started demonstrating some success. Everybody came on board offering advice on changing the name, changing the bag, and they all got paid whether they were successful or not. And that can cost your organization a lot of money. So be very careful about the advice you take that you're paying for. You might end up spending a lot of money for faulty advice. You're gonna have to trust your instincts a little bit, and sometimes you gotta trust your own abilities to act according to what's important for your organization to begin with. So just one thing to leave you with. We talked about getting the right founders together. We talked about getting the right people together as key employees for your first hires. And we talked about the importance of outside advisors. I had a teacher that once said to me that he would rather have an A team and a B idea than a B team and an A idea. And when you think about it, a great team will take a good idea and make it great. They'll outperform. If you have an okay team and a great idea, they'll underperform. They won't execute effectively. So make sure you get that great team together. Make sure you're working with great people that inspire you to create a great business.